Hi, I'm Sara and I'm a veterinary nurse here at Carolina Pets Animal Hospital, and this is Ophelia. And today we're going to demonstrate how to do nail trims at home. Today we're going to talk about some of the different tools that you can use to cut your dog's nails, how to get the best effect and keep them nice and smooth as opposed to sharp. The biggest thing you want to remember is that you want this to be a stress-free activity and you want them to enjoy themselves. So get out some really good tasty treats. It's always a good idea to start when they're very young, when they're a puppy, so they get very used to handling. Ophelia here has been getting her nails trimmed since she was about 6 weeks of age, so she's very used to it. We're going to take a look at some of the tools that we will need in order to do our nail trims at home. You want to start off with some really good treats, something that they really enjoy to eat, because you want this to be a positive, non-stressful activity for your dog. We like to use our little beefy treats here at the hospital. The next thing you're going to take a peek at is what type of trimmer to use. Obviously they're all different sizes of dogs, so you want to pick the nail trimmer that's appropriate for their size. If you have a very large dog, some heavy-duty trimmers such as these are a good idea. If you have a medium-sized dog, you can get a pair of guillotine, they call these clippers, or our medium-sized clippers. And if you have a small mammal or a cat, even guinea pigs, hamsters, rabbits, that sort of thing, and of course our feline friends, you can get some of the kitty clippers. For your cats at home, you can also use toenail clippers because their nails are very small and they're typically very easy to use. The other thing you want to have on hand is something to stop the bleeding in the event that you accidentally cut into what's called their quick. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. What we use at the hospital, a couple different things. One is called Quick Stop. This is a yellow powder. It's a styptic powder, and basically we'll take a Q-tip, dip in a little bit of water, a little bit of powder, and apply that to the nail, and that stops the bleeding. The other thing that we'll use, which this is actually prescription only, but this is something we use in hospital, are silver nitrate sticks. It kind of cauterizes the area so that the bleeding will stop as well. At home, if you don't have these products, and things like the Quick Stop you can get at your local pet store, but at home, if you need to, in a pinch, you can use something like cornstarch, and if you don't have any cornstarch, even flour to help kind of stop the bleeding. Another tool that you may want to consider, if you like to round out your dog's nails so that they don't have those sharp edges, is a Dremel. If you have a Dremel tool at home, this is one of the better heads to use at the top because you can round very easily with it. The wider ones are a little bit harder to manipulate around the nail bed, but this will get your dog's nails shorter and nice and smooth so that they're not sharp just after clipping. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is make sure that you're in a comfortable environment for the dog. Typically at home is a good place because they're not as stressed out. You can do it outside so you can easily sweep up the nail clippings, or in the house where the dog's comfortable as well. And next you want to find a hold that's comfortable for both you and the dog to pick up each foot and go around the nails. Some dogs typically prefer less restraint, less is more with them. Others you kind of have to hold still if they're not very used to it until they get comfortable and quiet. Sit down. Good girl. So first what we're going to do is, obviously we have our correct tool. She has fairly thick nails and she's a large dog, so I'm going to use my heavy duty trimmers for her. And we're going to first pick up her foot, and I'm going to show you guys here what we're going for. If you'll take a look at her nail bed, Ophelia's nails are fairly long, but you can see this pink area in here. This is called the quick. It goes all the way down to about right here, right where that nail starts to hook. Basically want to take off all the way up until where you see that pink. That pink area is actually vascular, and it will bleed if you cut it. Okay? So I'm going to take my clippers. Come here, Ophelia. Good girl. And I'm just going to get right by where that area is and stop right before I hit that pink area on each of her nails. So I'm getting just the hook right where it curves. Good girl. Ophelia's a good girl. And don't forget the dew claw. This one is the digit on the inside. This one is often easy to miss, especially with the furry dogs that have long hair. But this one tends to get very sharp because this one is not on the ground, it doesn't hit the cement, so it doesn't grind down somewhat naturally like some of the others do that come into contact with hard surfaces. So once you've cut back from the quick, there's a little trick that you can do to make these a little bit less sharp, and that is rounding the edges out. You can lay down. Good girl. Basically you're just trimming the sides, trimming the very top, which will help recess that quick area back, and you can eventually get these a little shorter. and then trimming the other side. So it kind of rounds the nail out just a tad. Okay, give me paw. Sit. Sit. Let's show everybody. Give me paw. Good girl. Show everybody your great nail trim that was easy and stress-free, right? The biggest thing to remember is that you want it to be comfortable for them. If you're having an extremely difficult time, or you're overly stressing the pet, or they're very upset, nervous, they're trying to bite, you can always bring them into Carolina Pets Animal Hospital and we can do it for you. We can show you how to do it at home as well, and offer some tips as to how to calm your pet prior to giving the nail trim in the event that they're overly stressed for it. So thank you again for watching our video on how to trim your dog's nails at home.